Dear students, good morning to all of you. In the previous lecture, we have studied the structure of the integument. Now we shall try to study the functions of the integument. The first and the foremost function of the integument is protection. So, because the skin is the outermost covering of our body, it provides protection against mechanical and chemical injuries. So, whenever something strikes our body, it is the skin first which protects our internal body. Uh, Skins have various protective derivatives. Derivative means the structures which have originated from the skin. Like it has various animals have scales on the body, bony plates. Sometimes they have the fat, sometimes the skin have the feathers, sometimes they have the hairs. All these structures are derived from the skin, and all of them reduce force of injury. If something is coming to your body for causing the injury, when it will strike first to these structures, the force will get lessened. Moreover, they prevent excessive loss of body moisture. So, they are protecting the body from the loss of moisture from the body also, and they also not allow the harmful bacteria and fungi to enter into the body directly. You can see in the below diagrams, the skin is having scales and the sucutes, the bony plates on the body, and they are protecting the body of the animals. Then some animals have fur on the body, pelage. Some have the plumage like feathers, like you can say in case of the birds, you have the feathers on the body. Here it is the fur on the body in the leopard. Sometimes the animals have bristles and spine, like you see the porcupines. The claws, the nails, and the hoofs, you can see. These are the hoofs. Then the antlers, these are the antlers. Horns, you might have seen in the animals. All these are the structure derived from the skin, and they protect the animals from the enemy. So, they are the organs of offense and defense. Animals attack other animals with the help of them and defend its body with the help of these structure also. So, again, the skin derivatives are providing protection against the enemies. Similarly, the protective coloration or camouflage serve to escape detection from enemies. Many animals, like you might have seen the chameleon, which changes its color according to the surrounding. That is, it matches its body color according to its surrounding, called camouflage. And once it matches it, then the enemies may not be able to detect that animal. As a result, it will escape from that point of time and will not come in grip of the predator. Again, skin have pigments in it, and the pigments protect from the solar radiations. You might have seen, if the pupils don't have the pigments on the skin, they are called albinos. They are more prone to solar radiations. Solar radiation cause skin cancer in these people if these people will come in front of directly in contact of the solar radiations. So these people always uh, remain hidden from the direct contact of the solar radiations. They hardly come out during the harsh sunny days. Then the second function of the skin is the locomotion. Now, again, there are derivatives of skin like fin rays, you can see in the fishes. These are the fin rays. Then web of the feet of some animals, like in frog also, like in the other birds also, the wading birds also, in turtles also. So all these are the skin structures and these structures help in swimming by one way or other. Then the adhesive pad. The amphibians have the adhesive pad and the claws in case of the amniotes on the digits. That means digits, you can say the fingers, the tip of the fingers. They have the claws. They help in climbing because the adhesive pad help the frog to adhere with the substratum, and these claws also help in climbing the tree or any other, uh, you can say the upright uh, upright hilly terrain, because they can groove themselves inside like a hook. So here the claws are helping in climbing also. Then you can see the feathers on wings, they are derived from the skin, and the short tail of the bird. And then you might have seen the bat. Bat is a mammal whose wings are basically formed of the skin. So they have the cutaneous patagia, or the wings of bat, you can say. All they help in flying. Then the lizard do have the same structure. They help the animals in flying. So either they fly, or they climb, or they swim. All these are the locomotions. They are helped by the skin. Dermal endoskeleton. Endoskeleton, you know, the skeleton present within the body, and dermal because it is once it is derived from the dermal layer of the skin. So skeleton protects the body, maintain the shape, you all know. Skin contributes to bony dermal armor such as extinct ostracoderms. This is the group of fishes which is not present today. It is extinct. The heavy bony armor which protects like a shield was derived from the skin. Then the living group like the sturgeon, like the crocodile, the turtle, they do have the endoskeleton in the form of the derived from the dermal layer of the skin. So this is how that the skeleton is also provided by the skin. So I have already told you that the skeleton maintain the shape of the body and also protects the body once it is outside. Dermal endoskeleton in the head shield the brain and sense organs. So endoskeleton of the head is derived from the dermal layer in many animals, and it protects the animals and the sense organs. Elsewhere, it prevents compression of soft internal organs and also forms part of teeth. So somewhere the part of the teeth is also formed by the derivatives of the dermal layer of the skin, and it also, once the skeleton is present, it will not allow the body to get compressed against the pressure. As a result, body is protected. Then the fourth function is the secretion. Skin secrete many things which are very much helpful to the animals, like the mucous gland in the aquatic animals are present in the skin. They secrete the mucus which keep the skin moist and slippery, so the water does not enter directly into the body. Then sometimes the poison, the bitter and offensive secretions are secreted from the skin. Once the secretions are bitter and the poisonous, then the predator may not be able to take the prey easily. As a result, they protect them from their potential enemies. Then uropygial glands, you can see in the chick, in the birds, the raised portion at the posterior most end of the abdomen, just above the tail, called the uropygial gland is located, and here it is the uropygial gland secrete in oil, and you might have seen this action of the birds that they take the oil from the uropygial gland and then they rub it on the feathers so that the feathers may become waterproof. Then oil from sebaceous glands of mammals lubricate the skin and hair. So sebaceous glands, you know, they are present in the skin along the hairs. So the oil secreted from it lubricate the skin of the hair. Moreover, Sebum contains fatty acids and the lactic acid in it, which brings down the pH of the skin. In addition to it, these glands secrete the sebum having the fatty acid, having the lactic acid, due to which the pH of the skin goes down to 3.0, and this pH is not favorable for growth of the microbes on the skin. Thus the animal is protected from the attack of the microbes. Then among the other secretions, the mammary glands, they secrete milk, and you know the milk is very important for the young ones. Then there are so many odors or the scent glands present on the skin, which produce some kind of scent. Then scent help the animals to attract the opposite sex, because all animals at the breeding time may not be present at the same position. Male and female may not be present at the same location. So in order to attract the opposite sex, the scent glands are very helpful. Similarly, you might have seen tears in your eyes secreted from the lacrimal glands. So basically, tears, they are produced in order to wash the conjunctiva of the eye. So conjunctiva of the eye is washed by it, and again tears are produced by the lacrimal gland. You can see this is the lacrimal gland. So again it is derived from the skin. Glands of auditory meatus. Auditory meatus, you can see this portion secrete the ear wax. So ear wax is secreted, which is also called the cerumen, and the auditory glands are also called as cerumen gland. And basically this ear wax is a grease which grease the eardrum and trap the insects that enter the canal. Now you see, we cannot close the opening of our ear, but the secretion present inside it is so greasy that if an ant or small insect tries to enter it, it will get entrapped in the grease. It will not go inside and damage the hair. Then skin also useful for food storage. Like you can see, the thick fatty layer of blubber under skin of seals and whales serve as insulation as well as reserve food. We have seen in the structure of the skin that below the skin there is a subcutaneous layer where the fat is deposited. Once the fat is deposited under the skin, so because skin is not fixed to the underlying body wall or the muscles, so there is a chance that the fat may deposit over there. Once the fat is deposited over there, it provides insulation against the loss of the heat from the body, and it is also a reserve food also. Animals also accumulate subcutaneous fat prior to hibernation and migration, because during hibernation they will not eat anything. During migration they may not get a chance to eat. So the fat accumulated below the skin will be used for that. Then temperature control is there. In warm-blooded animals, the fur present on the skin, like you have seen in the leopard, the feather on the birds, and the scales, all they insulate and conserve the body heat in cold climate. So during cold climate, heat will not be lost from the body. So again, skin is helping to maintain the body temperature. Like you can see in the summer season, when there is a heat, the sweat gland secrete the sweat on your skin, and once it is evaporated, then the cooling sensation you may feel on your body. So that is why the sweat is produced during the summer. For elimination of heat, integumentary vessels dilate. So blood vessels present within the skin, they dilate. So the skin becomes radiator of the heat. So the heat is lost once the vessels are dilated, because the blood is coming from the inner core of the body, from the heart. It is taking the heat in it, and once the vessels are dilated, then the heat is radiated outside the body. So how This is how the temperature is controlled. For conservation of heat, the vessel constrict, and during winter you might have seen that your skin is having some wrinkles because the vessels inside it are constricted so that the heat may not be lost. Again, the temperature is controlled. Then the seventh function is the excretion. You might have seen once the sweat is coming out, it is taking some salt and urea out from the body. So excretion from the skin is there. Then some fishes, most of the fishes rather, have the chloride secreting cells present on the gills, which secrete out the chloride from the body. Then the shedding of the skin, which is popularly called as, this process is called ecdysis. It gets rid of metabolic waste, because once the outermost portion of the skin is lost, then the waste is also lost from the body. Then the eighth function is the sensation. You might have you are already familiar with this process, that it is the skin which feel the touch, sense of touch, because the nerves ending in it can feel it and can accordingly may send message to your brain about the surroundings. So nerves ending in it, they sense the touch also, they sense the pain also, they sense the change in pressure also, they sense the change in moisture also, change in heat of the environment also, and cold also. Then they change in chemical nature of the surrounding also, and give message to the brain for action against it, so that the body may not be destroyed. If this skin and the sensory nerves may not be present over there, what will happen? Environment will go change over the period of time to a drastic extent. Animal will not feel it. As a result, it will get destroyed before feeling the same. Then the ninth function is sexual selection. Because you might have seen that the animals, they are beautifully colored, they are brilliantly colored. Like you may have seen, sometimes the skin is very much colored. Sometimes you may see that in the deer, the antlers in the male, they are very much fascinating structures. Accordingly, the peacock have the long tail on the males. So all these are the sexual dimorphism. That means through which you can distinguish from the one sex from the other. The birds have beautifully colored males and dull colored females. Like the deer have the antlers only in the male. The tail is present in the male peacock. So here you can distinguish the sex, so it is called sexual dimorphism. And the beautiful color also attract the females for mating. Then there are some other miscellaneous functions which may not be grouped under a heading. So like vitamin D is synthesized by mammalian skin from sebum of sebaceous gland. So I have already discussed sebaceous gland present along the side of the hair. The sebum is produced, which in the presence of sunlight produces the vitamin D. Again you might have seen this hippocampus, the seahorse. It has a pouch called the brood pouch. It is again is a structure of the skin where the fishes and some amphibians also have such type of structure, where the eggs are laid and hatched, thus provide a protection of the eggs from getting destroyed in the water. Again, in your nasal, you might have seen that in your nose, that there is always a greasy type of secretion which is secreted from the nasal gland. Basically, it keeps the nostril free from water and dirt so that it may not enter into the body. Amphibians and other aquatic animals carry a considerable respiration through the richly vascular skin. You might have seen in the frog that the frog carries out respiration, considerable respiration with the help of the skin. Now, once the pupils are swimming inside the water, but the water is not getting inside through these nasals unless it is not inhaled with the breathing. So it is the It is the nasal gland which is keeping the nostril free from the water. Then the skin shows selective absorption of the oils. So all oils and all ointments, iodine, etc., beneficial sun rays, they are selectively absorbed inside the body through the skin, and other things, everything is not getting inside the body through the skin. So skin selectively absorb those things only which are meaningful and helpful to the body. Special types of enzymes are there which are produced by larvae of some fishes and the frogs. So again they are produced by the skin. Thanks. This is all about the structure of the skin or the integument.